Good morning and aloha from Military Muscle Night, Hawaii. Lieutenant Colonel Joe Yetzi, retired, amateur bodybuilder and power lifter in the Air Force, and I am going to do a full cardio session. My cardio sessions are sprint interval. Used to be sprint interval. Doing a little bit slower now because of all the injuries I sustained on my legs. But we're going to do a full, the same way that I train all my clients personally and in person, full 20-minute cardio session prior to doing any lifting. So today's not concentrating on any weightlifting, any muscle mitigation, muscle injury mitigation, or joint injury mitigation like I have been, but purely on cardio, which allows you to burn. And even me now, even though I can't do as much cardio, I can't run like I used to, like the wind it used to be, but I can't do that anymore. But it's a key process: diet, weightlifting, or resistance training, and it doesn't have to be heavy, as we've been proving lately and in my most recent injury mitigation workouts and videos. So cardio, weightlifting, diet. Those are the three things you must have in order to get fit and to be badass as far as your muscle, your white muscle tissue, and your ability to keep going in life, which is my goal now, that in a personal journey that I'm bringing you guys through. But I still have the know-how to do muscle development and muscle building since I was a bodybuilder. So all that is a part of this. I'm thinking after we do this cardio exclusive today, I'm thinking of also doing live sessions once a week once I get back from the mainland. And then those of you who have subscribed are going to have abundant ability to ask me questions, leeway to get a lot of different things, because it will be during not only the live sessions, but it'll be throughout the blog, and those who have subscribed will have access to me for questions and for whatever you want. So let's get started on this. In order to keep the video short, I'm going to go out to 20 minutes, but I'm going to show you how to do the cardio intervals. I've already stretched, so that includes quadriceps, the front upper part of my leg, hamstrings, the front back part of my legs, both sides obviously, and I've stretched the calves. One thing that you might also, especially if you've had an injury there, to stretch before you run or do cardio or anything extensive with your legs or prolongated with your legs, you might also want to do groin stretch. Okay, that's done. That's the first thing. The second thing is just get started here. I have my home treadmill here, a little less menacing than and large as the gym industrial size machines. I'm just going to set a slow speed, 3 miles per hour for the first 2 minutes. I have my heart rate watch on, and normally it will store on this iPhone, which is what I'm using for the video. So I'll have my whole cardio session stored on here, and I can compare how I did and how my heart rate did compared to the past. So this is exactly the same training I give my clients. It's one of the first things I give them before we start getting into any weightlifting or resistance training. So 30 seconds to go out to 2 minutes, and then I'll ramp it up. So there's some faster leg movement here, the sprint session. So it's going to be 2 minutes warm up, 1 minute of sprint interval or increased running, and then I'll take 3 minutes in between of just fast walking, and then I'll go back to a sprint at that third minute. So that's the way it's going to go all the way through 20 or 30 minutes, however long your session is. Okay, we're coming up on 1:10. Checking my heart rate here. Get my heart rate ready so I can see it here. All right, I'm at 64, which is about 10 above my resting these days, 10 to 15. Stretched, like I said. I also use this as an opportunity to stretch some upper body, especially if I'm going to be doing weightlifting afterwards with upper body muscles. All right, we're up to 4. I'm at 152, 153. There we go. 5 miles per hour. I'll just go real mildly. 5.5 miles an hour. Used to go right into 8, 7, 8, but too many leg injuries now. So this is all you need. Get a jack the heart rate. That's all that's important. So what's going to happen next is very important to watch, because first of all, I'm going to move the camera so you guys can actually see what I have on here. But what happens when you're done with your sprint interval is very key here, and I'll explain it because I'm almost done. Coming up on 1 minute, go at the 3-minute point, start moving down. 5, 4 miles per hour. Warm down. Each sprint interval, you want to warm down to about 3.5 miles an hour. Now, the important thing is what I was talking about after is to get your heart rate. Now this says I'm at 107, which means I've had a delay there. So I don't think you can see this, but 107, I had a delay, so I was probably at 115, 120, which is good. And then my subsequent ones will be a little bit higher speed. I'll go up to 140, 150 heart rate. But what's important after your sprint interval, which tells you whether or not you're in condition, or there's the change factor that you want to look for in subsequent cardio sessions, is how quickly your heart comes back to resting or to walking heart rate. In other words, your BPMs, your beats per minute, should go down pretty fast if you're in good shape. Before, I have a hard time getting my heart rate up, so I used to do this twice a day, or several times a week. And when I was done with the 1 minute, I would drop like a rock all the way back down to 70 or 80. So now I'm already down into the 90 range. So get ready for our next sprint interval. Now I'm gonna move this camera so you have a little better view. Still not great. That's better. I don't know if you can see what's on there, but it's 3.5 miles an hour. I'm checking my heart rate. I'm watching it go down. Just doing fast, medium to fast walking now. So I finished at 3 minutes. Told you 3 minutes of walking, medium pace in between. And then at the end of that 3 minute warm down, which happens after each sprint interval, and you're checking your heart rate to see how fast it comes down or stays. Then at the end of the 3 minute period, you're gonna go back up to, this time I'll go up to 5.8, almost 6 miles an hour. Okay, coming up on 6 minutes, end of that 3 minute slow down period. Here we are, 5.8 miles an hour. Always keeping your heart rate in mind, keeping your legs lifted up. I have a hard time changing this when you have to do it mechanically, but in the gym I'll use the incline too for further resistance. Keep your knees up, keep a strong sprint or fast jogging pace can do anything for 1 minute, even if you're not in your best shape. So make sure you got a good hearty pace, and then just keep your heart rate and your breathing in mind. A little bit hard for me while I'm talking right now, but that'll be my focus when we're done with the video. Coming up on 7 minutes, so that will be the end of our second 1 minute sprint interval. Okay, slowly come down, 4 miles per hour, check my heart rate. Okay, this is at 120. I have a feeling it's gonna bounce up. All right, so I probably had about 130 beats per minute this session, this time. Next time, unless you're in extremely good shape, like I was referring to earlier, it's probably gonna go up at the 10-minute point, which will be my next 1 minute. It'll probably go up to 150, 160. But again, what's the important factor? How quickly does your heart rate come down? Down to 113 and counting. 112. So afterwards, it takes 30 seconds to get back down to 90 beats per second. You're doing pretty good. I'm coming up on 1 minute and I'm getting there. I'm at 100, 107. Within a minute is also very good. If it takes forever or you can't get below 100 beats per second again, and you're my age where your average heart rate is in the 70s and resting in the 50s or 60s, then you're not in good shape. You need to do this. It's the whole reason. Okay. Three miles per hour. Just on the cruise until I get to 10. We'll cut the video when I get to 10 minutes, and we'll post this as a cardio session, demonstration session, performance demonstration. Cardio, sprint interval style cardio. Okay, we're down to 97. I'm gonna start ramping this back up. I'll shut it off at the beginning of the sprint, and then I'll edit the video and get it out there after I'm done. Stay tuned. Start doing live sessions in June, once a week. Subscribe, and then ask me anything you want during live sessions or otherwise. Be happy to help. This is all part of my life journey right now, and so might as well help other folks. Military Muscle Might, Hawaii. All right, go up to 6 this time. Shoots.